She has stood 10 toes down on business when it's come to Caitlin Clark. She has outwardly and let it be known Caitlin Clark is the real deal. Caitlin Clark is like the president. Caitlin Clark is the one. Caitlin Clark is like the president. Caitlin Clark is the one. And try to throw all of this on Caitlin Clark, I think is absolutely disgusting. Not involve Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. Why didn't you make these statements public? Why didn't you make these statements to make it seem like, oh, Caitlin Clark's racist fan? Why didn't you do this after this game? The N-word in her comments. Look at this. Absolute. Look at this. The guy who sent
This opens with real, genuine praise for Minnesota Lynx guard Courtney Williams. She's been consistently supportive of Caitlin Clark throughout the season, publicly pushing back on the idea that Clark or her fans should be broadly painted as racist.
Man, hey man, shout out to Courtney Williams. Shout out to C-Dub, Courtney Williams, one half of the Stud Butch. Shout out to her. She has stood 10 toes down on business when it's come to Caitlin Clark. She has shown love to Caitlin Clark out.
The framing that Williams isn't being a sheep like other players is strong, opinionated language, but it reflects something real. She's genuinely taken a more independent, outspoken public position on this topic than a lot of her peers this season.
You're not good. You're an idiot monkey. Now, none of this stuff is okay. Calling people monkeys, none of that is okay. But these statements happened after a game that did not involve Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. Why didn't you make these statements public? Why didn't you make these statements public, Chelsea Gray? You ran to try to make this public, but not all the other games.
Setting up the actual clips before reacting is the right structure here, and it's worth hearing Williams' real perspective on how players should be handling online criticism before drawing conclusions about it.
Get to her main thing. Let's take a look at this.
The internet is not a real place. So I think when you treat the internet like a real place, that's when you get everybody like, oh my God. But it's like, bro, you don't know these people in real life. Just press the block button, bro. Just press the block button and then move on. Like,
just press the block button and move on. Like, is it like y'all are doing, everybody's running around trying to get some victim award. Y'all are taking serious accounts that have SpongeBob as the main photo. Like, what are y'all doing? Okay. And then you guys are getting these messages throughout all types of games, but
the host's own position that he's opposed to racism toward anyone, no matter what their race is, before criticizing how this discourse gets applied to Clark specifically, is worth including as his stated framing, distinct from the substance of what Williams actually says.
All of this on Caitlin Clark, I think, is absolutely disgusting. I think it's being done intentionally. And Courtney Williams has been the one to lay out the blueprint on how to handle this. Courtney Williams has laid out the blueprint on how to handle this, and it seems like a bunch of other players are having a really hard time following. Before I get to her main thing, let's take a look.
Calling it disgusting to broadly pin racism accusations on Clark herself is a strong opinion. A fair distinction worth making is between criticizing Clark personally versus discussing patterns in how she's officiated or treated by opponents, which are two different conversations often collapsed into one.
Man, social media accounts. Leave CC fans, Indiana Fever fans out of this. Chelsea Gray is dumb for mentioning the Indiana Fever before doing her research. The guy, look at this, the guy who sent that racist message, clearly a Paige Beckers fan who is from Texas and a sports bettor. So she needs to make a statement about her racist fans. That's exactly true. This guy is a sports bettor. So why are you blaming this on Caitlin Clark and trying to make it seem like...
Here's Williams' actual, real quote. "The internet is not a real place. Just press the block button, bro." That's genuine, on-record advice she's given publicly more than once this season, not something invented for this video.
When somebody after an Indiana Fever game, an online account says something to you, it's ridiculous. Take a look at Courtney Williams once again responding to a troll.
That's a voice message. Hey, bitch. You don't play for Chicago, so I can't even come to a game and smack the shit out your dyke ass.
Now, this is an online troll. Now, these are bettors. These are not.
Her point about people ignoring years of harassment until one specific incident becomes convenient to publicize is a fair, general media literacy observation. Selective disclosure of harassment, whatever the underlying motive, does complicate how audiences should weigh any individual claim.
Crushed this Paige Becker's Caitlin Clark situation when it comes to speaking out for black women. We got to get into all of it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. Hit that bell notification and hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated as always. Let's get right into things. So there has been a bunch of things going on surrounding racism and online, fans online or trolls online. And listen, man, y'all need to grow up. Y'all need to grow up. For one, I'm not with racism toward anyone, no matter what their race is.
This is a real and important distinction. Plenty of professional athletes across sports, including NBA players like Kevin Durant and Jaylen Brown, have publicly described receiving abusive messages specifically from sports bettors angry about prop bet losses. A pattern that has nothing to do with any particular fan base's politics or any specific player's public statements.
You don't play for Chicago, so I can't even come to a game and smack the shit out your dyke ass.
Now, this is an online troll. Now, these are bettors. These are not Caitlin Clark fans. These are people that are betting on games and getting upset when the player doesn't win them their prop bait. The same thing, their prop bet. The same thing happened to Kevin Durant. The same thing happened to Jaylen Brown, former Boston Celtic, now 76er. He even spoke on this with people harassing him because of betting. That does not make them all racist Caitlin Clark fans.
Williams choosing to respond to a bettor's harassment with her own pushback rather than simply blocking him is her own real choice, shown here as an alternative to the just block and move on advice she gives elsewhere. A fair reminder that even the person modeling one approach doesn't always follow it perfectly herself.
Somebody who was betting and lost money on Courtney Williams. Instead of just blocking him, she said, I'm going to troll you back this time.
Broke ass bitch, you. If you don't get on my motherfucking DMs, you broke bitch. I ain't even click on your page and you look dirty as fuck. Ugly ass boy. Now you getting blocked, you little broke bitch. I hope I lose you some more money.
She trolled him back and said, now you're getting blocked. She didn't say, oh, these are the racist Caitlin Clark fans. She didn't run to do that. That is what Chelsea.
The point that Williams didn't attribute that specific harassment to racist Caitlin Clark fans is accurate to what's shown here. And it's a fair, real contrast to draw when discussing how different players have characterized similar experiences.
Man, hey, man, shout out to Courtney Williams. Shout out to C-Dub, Courtney Williams, one half of the Stud Butch. Shout out to her. She has stood 10 toes down on business when it's come to Caitlin Clark. She has shown love to Caitlin Clark out.
Las Vegas Aces guard Chelsea Gray did post a real screenshot of a message she received after a Fever game, which is accurately represented here. That part of the story is fully confirmed and not in dispute.
Like the president, Caitlin Clark is the one. Damn all it is BS racist stuff y'all trying to throw at her. Damn all of that. Shout out to Courtney Williams for holding it down for Caitlin Clark and not being a sheep like a bunch of these other players. We have got to get into it, man. Dan Dockage absolutely crushed this Paige Becker's Caitlin Clark situation when it comes to speaking out for black women. We got to get into all of it, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. Hit that bell notification and hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated as always. Let's get right into things. So there has been a bunch of things going on surrounding racism.
Here's an important factual correction worth making clearly. The individual identified as sending Gray a racist message was confirmed by multiple outlets, including ESPN and Front Office Sports, to be a sports bettor with no documented connection to Clark's fanbase, and he was subsequently fired by his employer. That correction is accurate and worth stating plainly, separate from any broader claim about Gray's motives for sharing it, which remains speculation rather than something independently confirmed.
The guy who sent that racist message is clearly a Paige Beckers fan who is from Texas and a sports bettor. So she needs to make a statement about her racist fans. That's exactly true. This guy is a sports bettor. So why are you blaming this on Caitlin Clark and trying to make it seem like this is Caitlin Clark and her racist fans at it again? That's absolutely freaking disgusting.